I'm your host Stepbit. Today we're going to be taking a look and doing a review on this monstrosity, this little creation that I put together 8 months ago. Not my idea, by the way, but we'll get to that. The Hybrid Ratchet. Pittsburgh breaker bar with a Matco 1/2-inch flex head. I had stumbled across the idea of making this ratchet by a TikTok user by the name of Redacted Raccoon. I will be leaving a link in the description below with his TikTok page if you guys want to go check out the videos, and to give him credit for giving me the plan to make this. I made it about 8 months ago, and I also have a video on building this ratchet as well for your entertainment purposes. I will also link that in the description below. But yeah, 8 months ago, he gave me the idea of, inspired me with the idea of taking a Pittsburgh 25-inch, 1/2-inch breaker bar and adding a Matco 1/2-inch replacement flex head, ratchet head, excuse me, to the end of it. And kind of the whole gist of doing this was to beat the tool truck prices and getting a long 25-inch ratchet for the price of, give or take at the time, $25, and give or take for the time $40. And, you know, doing a little creative construction of drilling out the end of the head, and then also, you know, pulling the head off the breaker bar, and then swapping the meat and potatoes and getting it all put together. And yeah, you have it. That's it. That's all you had to do. I would love to say, you know, keep on keeping on, and, you know, this is a great idea to keep doing, but, got some caveats to get into with that, as time has went on, and we'll get to that here in a second. So the caveat that I wanted to get into is, at the time, 8 months ago, this replacement head that you can get from a Matco dealer was $40. $40 and a little bit of creativity, and you know, you're rocking and rolling plus another 25. Unfortunately, and a lot of people had commented this on the build video of this ratchet, and so this is kind of my response to it, so to speak. That flex head replacement piece, yeah, that's $105 now. Matco caught on to people doing this. That's the only real explanation I have for it, and or maybe inflation, but I'm not going to get too deep into that stuff. That's a whole other argument for another video. But yeah, we went from 8 months ago, $40 for that little sucker, to now we want $105 for it. So me personally, at that point in time, it kind of defeats the purpose of making this. Yes, this is cool. It was definitely an eye turner in the shop. A lot of my coworkers were definitely pretty impressed by this. Obviously, I made sure to let them know this wasn't my idea. You know, I'm not out here to claim that I came up with this at all, but you know, it definitely impressed a lot of people, and a lot of people thought it was cool, and a cool way to save money. Yes, I like supporting my tool truck dealers, and I don't want to take, you know, food off their tables, but you know, in this cruel year of our Lord 2024, times are definitely tough, and you know, any way you can kind of edge yourself out in the competition of the market, so to speak, you know, I'm gonna take that. You know, I gotta eat, you gotta eat, you know, I understand, but you know, we got to figure out how to keep the ball rolling as least expensive, but with the best quality possible. And so yeah, that's why I went ahead and did this build. But now, yeah, it ain't even worth a lick to me to go ahead and redo this again, especially because 8 months later, she finally met her demise. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the anvil in the head has twisted, and she's done. I mean, arguably, yeah, I can try to make that work, but whenever I reached for this ratchet, it definitely wasn't any kind of low torque situations. And those of you who don't watch the channel and, you know, don't know the kind of shop I work in, the shop I work in is primarily heavy diesel, semi trucks, tractor trailers, you name it. So anytime I was reaching for this thing, it was for the heavy duty stuff. The smaller light duty vehicles that I work on, the few cars and trucks that we get here and there, and then when working on, like, say, like reefer units for refrigeration trailers, I never even considered grabbing this thing. But yeah, arguably, some of you can say I could have kept trying to use this, but I don't know how many more times I would have gotten out of it before that anvil finally completely left the chat and said goodbye. So unfortunately, she only survived 8 months in a heavy duty environment before she finally let go. And ironically, she didn't break on, like, you know, say suspension bolts or, you know, motor mounts or anything like that. Nothing crazy. It was a desiccant air dryer. And again, you guys familiar with heavy duty diesel, when it comes to an air brake application, you want to have an air dryer on the system to keep water from forming in your air tanks from condensation and whatnot. And ladies and gentlemen, if you do a desiccant air dryer, please, for the love that all is good in this world, use assembly lube on the freaking rubber seals of the air dryer, because that's what made this bite the dust. And actually, to tell you the truth, I broke 2 more ratchets trying to do it, and then I had to reach for my coworker's breaker bar because my breaker bar was broken at the time and still is. I got to warranty that. That's another story for another day. But I broke this, I broke a cobalt ratchet of mine, and then I broke my snap-on long bar ratchet as well. And then so I reached for my coworker's breaker bar. I don't remember the brand. And after proper force and motivation, nearly 45 minutes of screaming and cussing at this Cascadia, finally got the sucker off. And yeah, curse the guy who did that. But yeah, that was this ratchet's demise. Enough of that chatter. I know we're getting kind of long-winded here with everything, but how did everything else hold up? Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yes, that bit the dust, but until that went, this has been great. As I kind of predicted, this loosened up over time with the flex, but I wasn't really fighting it. It wasn't like wobbling around or anything. It still holds its own with holding solid. The gears inside the ratchet, the teeth, still been doing great. Granted, sounds like I could have lubed these up a little bit, but you know what? Can't complain. Been great. Fit and finish with the head, absolutely phenomenal. The little screw in there held up absolutely fine. I never ended up Loctiting this like I expected. It stayed in. I never had to play with it. I never had to adjust it. And the breaker bar, yeah, a couple times I had to throw a snipe on this end, but for the most part, everything else did just fine. And, you know, let's get in here and take a look at a couple things. Oh, come on. And those of you who watched the video when I put this together, I didn't go bananas on the screw either. Come on. Be right back. Yeah, even though I kind of drilled that out like an idiot, that held up absolutely fine. I don't see any stress cracking or any excessive wear marks that I wouldn't expect. Honestly, all the oil and crud that got in there over time kept it pretty well lubricated and probably helped it more than anything else. Yeah, same with this screw. Held up absolutely fine. Not a problem at all. You know, as far as everything else goes, I am absolutely pretty impressed with everything with this ratchet, except for, unfortunately, she bit the dust. Now, I'm sure some of you might be wondering, you know, will I warranty this and just reset this? Honestly, I'd love to. Like, it'd be awesome just to get another one of these suckers for free and reset this thing back up. But unfortunately, a few months back, I lost my Matco dealer. He retired. So being able to handle all this in person currently for me is not doable. And would a Matco rep be willing to warranty this? My guess is no. This whole sacrilegious, if you will, kind of, you know, build an idea, you know, I understand that they're out to make money, and I get that, and I respect that. So if I went to a Matco dealer and told them about this whole little rigmarole that I set up and say, oh, well, this failed, I want this warranty now, I would totally respect him for just laughing at me and just saying, no, absolutely not. Now, I'm not gonna lie here. If I get another Matco dealer in the future, because I am gonna hold on to this, and you know, I'm gonna bring this to their attention and, you know, show them the video of making it and everything, to say, yeah, I mean, you know, I was just trying to save some money, and you know, this failed, and you know, will you be willing to warranty it? Honestly, I'd probably say it more as a joke than anything else, but if they say yes, I'm not gonna turn it down for a second. And you know what, I'll throw this sucker back together. I haven't fully decided, sorry about the camera hit there, I haven't fully decided what I'm going to replace this with now, but yeah, if this ever gets warranted somehow, some way, this sucker's gonna live at home. But till then, I think I'm gonna find a nice place in the garage to kind of hang this up as a little, like, hey, look what I did one time, you know, kind of conversation piece, if you will. But yeah, warranty wise, all I have to go off is a guess, and I'm gonna say no. But if you're a Matco rep, in the comments of this video, please let me know. Would you be willing to warranty that? And can you warranty it? I don't know. Pretty curious about that. All in all, if I was to give this creation, if you will, a rating, a little tool rating of 1 out of 10, 1 being the worst tool in the world, and 10 out of 10 being God's gift to Earth when it comes to tools, and this is pretty subjective because you can't just go buy this off a store shelf. I'd give it a solid 8, 7, 8. Again, this is super subjective. I mean, I made this, and granted, not my idea, but it was awesome. It was awesome for the entire time I had it. Wasn't the biggest fan of the grip, but it did what it needed to do. I would have preferred a locking flex head because that's my preference, but I didn't have that, so oh well. But I mean, this is all kind of tit for tat, honestly, at the end of the day. I mean, until she bit the dust, it was great, but still, I mean, you can't just go buy this off the store shelf. This was more or less kind of an experiment, but also kind of a way to try to save money, and it saved me money for the time that I had it, and it did great. But as far as warranty goes, I'm pretty sure I'm hosed with this. Harbor Freight's been pretty good to me when it comes to no question asked, so I'm sure I can take this in and go, hey, my breaker bar broke, gotta get a new one, and I'm sure they'll give me one. But yeah, as far as everything else goes, I guess 7 to 8 when it comes to a rating. But again, this has been a fun little, you know, money saver experiment project and conversation piece, and I'm sure it will go on to be a conversation piece in my life. But interesting. Well, I want to say thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope it was informative for you. If you stuck around this far, I really do appreciate it. I know this is kind of a very long-winded video on this, but still thank you so very much for tuning in and watching this video. Please like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think of this. Tell me if, after my video a while back, if you made this yourself and what's been your experience with it. And again, please, if you have a Matco dealer, show this to them. And also, if, you know, you are a Matco dealer or used to be a Matco dealer, you know, tell me what you guys would do. Would you warranty that, or would you tell me to, you know, kick rocks or go pee up a rope? I'm actually legitimately curious, you know. And again, like I said in that last video and parts of this video, this wasn't out to screw any Matco dealer over. This was just to try to save a little money and get ahead in these trying economic times. But that's all water on the bridge, I suppose. Hopefully. Really subjective on that. But thank you guys for watching. Please consider subscribing. It really helps me out. I do other videos of tool reviews such as this one. I also got videos on my Drift Mazda Miata build series. And I got videos of anytime I could be turning a wrench and have the camera rolling to videotape it to hopefully give you guys some entertainment and have you guys follow along. But again, thanks so much for watching. Y'all have a good one.